I'm working on a winter painting today. Snow and cardinals, and this is a little different touch for me, so it's kind of a learning process. And I have my reference material on the computer right next to me on my laptop, and I have washed the birds in. This is an oil wash of my mud, which is 2 parts of ultramarine blue plus 1 part of alizarin crimson. Mix that with liquid to make a thin oil wash, and that's the female cardinal. The male cardinal, these are washes of alizarin crimson plus liquid, and then alizarin crimson plus some of my mud plus with liquid. So I have gone ahead and drawn my birds up there. Now I'm going to start kind of working the background in around them. The background's going to be kind of faded, just lots of, this is mixtures of my mud plus white and mud plus ultramarine blue plus white. I just want the background to be cool snow colors. They're sitting on a limb of an evergreen tree, and so there's going to be, need some a little bit lighter here. I'm just kind of blocking in my lights and my darks of the background, and so I want just kind of have some abstract shapes back here, that these all lead you into the birds. Even though it's abstract, these are lines that bring you into the birds. There's a branch back here that brings you in. Also have some just soft evergreen colors. This is a fir, I gather it's a fir tree, some sort of a evergreen tree. Since I grew up in the South, I'm not real familiar with all the names for those, but just kind of a gray-green, because some of those needles show through the snow. Just some darker, again, this is just done very loosely. And with these gray-greens back here, that will make the reds appear brighter. I'd originally thought of just having the cardinals in just snow, but then I thought, oh, if they're on an evergreen tree, then those greens are complementary to the red, and that makes the red appear brighter. Mix a little, these are mixtures of viridian green plus a little bit of mud plus white. I'm going to do a little mixture of phthalo blue plus a little bit of cadmium orange plus white. This gives us a little bluer tone, but it's still muted, and is in the same color range as my fir trees. I want to clean out my brush. The secret to clean, crisp colors on your canvas is a clean brush. So I use a lot of tissue paper and clean my brushes very often. Again, this background is just hazy back here. In the background there's more snow-covered branches, but I'm not going to delineate them. They're just going to be, get that feel of a camera that the background's out of focus. And I need a little darker mixture of my green here. I'm going to add a little, that same viridian green plus mud mix. I'm going to add a little bit more mud into it. Just a touch of the phthalo blue. Gives me a nice cool dark. I don't want the darks back here to be too dark because it'll take your eye back there, but this needs to be just a touch darker. These 2 birds are on a branch here. just some soft greens back in here. Again, that'll complement the red. This is just my ultramarine blue plus white. And now the female cardinal is soft, kind of dove gray colors. Even then I want some greens behind her. And again, I let the white behind here just come in and kind of bring your eye to her. Now I want this a little darker right here because the sunlight's going to be hitting her head. But again, that's a subliminal arrow to her. Let's do a little bit of our blue back in here, blue-green, because this branch is going to be brighter because that's more in the foreground. We've got a little more brightness on this branch back here. Because it's a little bit closer to us. I work carefully around my drawing. I don't want to mess that up because I'll come back and paint the birds. Now the branch shows a little bit back in here from that other tree, and I'll let it kind of come and point to that male cardinal, Mr. Chippers. That's Sissy in the background. I'm not sure what she's crying about. My other kitty Molly is outside, so she may see her out there and decide we have an intruder. So I let that branch and then on that branch there's some green that kind of pokes through some of those needles. I'll let them come behind Mr. Chipper's crest there, so that'll really accentuate that red. Now, I will come back and sharpen up those needles just a little bit, but this kind of gives me my reference there, because they'll come up, break up through there. Yeah, and this is just, I want that background to be there to give me those tones, but I want it to be soft. I'm going to bring in a little bit of light underneath that branch, not much, but just to kind of give a feeling of distance back in there. That there's some air in between there. And then there's a little branch just coming right like so. Now I'm going to have some of my dark here because this will help to accentuate the light on Mr. Chipper's beak. But I don't want this line to be hard, so I just soften this a little bit. We'll have a little bit of our branch back there. Sissy, I'm not sure what you see out there, but I'm just going to have to wait till I'm done. I'm going to make a little more mix of my ultramarine blue plus white. I'm starting to run out. And I want to put some of that down in here. I'm also going to bring a little bit up here just to give some blue tones back in there. More snow just on those branches back in behind this. I'll go in and I'll put some, well, I'll do it now. Just some of the needles breaking through in the background. Probably add some berries in here and just get a little bit of light on this branch there. And then I have the branch that they're sitting on is getting quite a bit of sunlight here. And Miss Chippers is making a little shadow. And so is Mr. Chippers. Then this light comes in a little behind him and just hits the branch right there. I just pile that paint on for the snow. So it really has lots of texture. I'm going to let it get a little darker as we go down here because I don't want that light to pull your eye off of the painting. Don't want that to pull you out of the painting because I want your eye to come and settle on the birds, and then this just is, it's too dark, but this just falls back in. That branch kind of turns down, so it'll be more into the shadow. Let's put a few little needles and stuff in here, kind of poking out through the snow. There's holes in, you know, the snow doesn't cover it totally. It's not been a real heavy snow. So we get some needles poking out through. I appreciate you watching my YouTube videos. Please always feel free to ask questions. And you can see the rest of this painting on my blog. The link is in the description below. It's also, the address is on the final frame of my video. You can subscribe to my blog as well as my YouTube channel. So again, I thank you so much for watching my video today. You have a wonderful, wonderful day, and just be a blessing to someone today. If you're at the grocery store and you see a mother with her kids and she's struggling to get her kids in the car and groceries in the car and the cart's running away from her, go give her a hand. Just be kind to someone today. And I just thank you so much, and just happy painting.